Hello, this is Krista West of Avlea Folk Embroidery, and today I have a wonderful treat for you. I am in the Regional Museum in Perachora, Greece. Perachora is fairly close to the Isthmus of Greece, near the Peloponnese. It's near, the nearest city is Loutraki. Probably the nearest city that you would know is Corinthia, or Corinthos. This is an amazing regional museum. The families of this whole area came together to bring all of their folk costume and all of their old and antique items to this amazing museum. So I really wanted to give you a quick tour of this. This was an amazing opportunity for me to be able to visit this. So I'm going to walk you through it. This is a wonderful basket filled with koulourakia for Pascha, for Greek Easter. The koulourakia, you'll notice, are actually in the shape of the Alpha and Omega and a cross. So Christian symbology for the Pascha cookies. There are amazing embroidery and linens here. These are filet crochet shelf liners. Here is some cut work, a cut work table runner. We have chests filled with beautiful items, insertion like filet crochet inserted into pillowcases. But my personal, I have two favorites in this museum. Well, okay, now I have three. Maybe I shouldn't pick favorites. My first is this amazing Prika display. This is all of the blankets and the household linens and the pillow covers that would have been given to a woman when she got married. But here's the really charming custom. These would be displayed, and then people would come and they would pin money to them, much like we pin money to a wedding dress at a wedding reception. Some traditions have that. So this is an entire stack of blankets that would have been given to a woman when she was married. Next up is an amazing chest, don't worry, I have permission to do this, of beautiful folk costume clothes that the docent just showed us, filled with these beautiful, and this is the vest. This vest is part of the Greek female folk costume of this region. So let me spin around here, don't get too dizzy, and I'm going to show you these. These are simply stunning. Look at these. They're just beautiful. They're embroidered in a variety of traditions, sometimes things like split stitch, stem stitch, those sorts of stitches that we know. Also cord work. You can see how some of that, I don't know if you can get that close. This one is very remarkable. The woman who was giving us the tour, this was her grandmother's. And her grandmother, actually, I'm going to get close to this to show you. If I can go in really close, you'll see that little circle at the front is missing. Oh, can you see it? Oh, maybe we can't. Let's go back a bit. Is missing its flower and has just a cross in it. She did that to symbolize when someone in her family died. And so these sorts of costumes would have been with a woman for most of her life. This was something she wore for feast days, special occasions, for celebrations, and they were a mark of community and identity and very, very important. Here's a loom. Here is another costume worked in a very traditional red color. This is actually worked with like an untwisted floss, so you get that very plush texture. Then, as we go into this room, we have a number of really beautiful folk costumes here. This is a very old one. This one's well over 200 years old. Male folk costume, female folk costume with a silk bridal apron. This one is very old also. You can see the hem down here. It's very remarkable. These are dancing girls. The little element down there that looks like little arms, you can see that this is a symbol of dancing girls. But the real favorite of mine in this museum is this costume, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. This was the costume of the folk costume of the daughter of the local priest. And to me, this costume, I was surprised when I saw it, you'll notice how the vertical bands of embroidery go up. Those are reminiscent of ancient clavi. Clavi were a type of vertical ornamentation that were added to tunics in the pre-Christian world and into the Christian world, and went on to have all sorts of adaptations in various uses. I was just surprised to see them in folk costume. My favorite thing on this one is so sweet. She was just explaining to us, now again, I don't know if I can get close enough on this, but on the hem of this dress, you will notice that there are little rondelles of color, if you can see those, in amongst the black backstitching that creates a sort of mesh design. There are little colors of, you can see the red, the pink, the blue. Those are symbols of women, pregnant women. So this is a very fertility-rich costume. It has very rich in fertility symbols, and each one of those represents a woman carrying a child. It's a very remarkable symbolic achievement in my mind. This is a beautiful costume. I guess this costume, I just found out, was just featured in Vogue magazine a few months ago. So if you come to Greece, and if you find yourself somewhere near the Peloponnese, I would strongly recommend visiting the Perachora Regional Museum.